Good evening. Welcome to review of the Xero Shoes Scrambler. This is a new offering from Xero Shoes coming up for this spring, and I would say in terms of category, if you are looking for a lightweight hiker and one that's going to give you the best advantage in terms of traction, in terms of performance, this is probably the best offering that I've seen from Xero Shoes in terms of their boot line in quite some time. Looking at the high points, taking a look at the low points, and then what I've used it for will give you a pretty good idea of kind of where I've been at with it. First of all, something that they've drastically improved has been the feel and fit of their boot in the upper, especially with this lacing pattern where you have these two little eyelets at the top. This has been a significant portion of the time where I have seen some irritation for my ankle just because there's been a lack of padding in that spot. They've certainly addressed that and created a nice collar on the back that'll protect you from any brambles or anything that you might see on the trail that might scuff up your ankle bones. And that's been really quite fantastic. In terms of the inside, uh, if you're a sock liner person, I wasn't the biggest fan of the internal sock liner. Seemed to slide a bit for me, especially if I was making like a power throw in disc golf or if I was going down a steep incline. It seemed like the insole would try to kind of curl back towards the heel of the shoe. However, it is optional to have it in there or to take it out. When I took it out, it provided actually a little bit more space for my toes, which is great, and made the size 11 truly a good fit. It also brought me a little bit lower to the ground, which really is what I'm looking for with most of my Xero offerings, especially if I'm out there trying to do something athletically and something rather quickly over uneven surfaces. It's really nice to have that ground feel as close to the ground as you can. The biggest things that I noticed about this boot, even though it's not waterproof by any means, it does have these strategic TPU liners along the side where it's directly welded to the shoe. Creates almost like a splash guard like you'd have on, say, like a truck tire or something of that nature, where it will dissipate some of the water in shallow circumstances. If you dip your foot into the pond, of course it's still going to get wet, but if you're going quick over puddles or quick over some light snow, didn't really notice that my foot got all that wet, which is pretty surprising. Best part of the shoe that I have found so far is the outsole itself. The outsole has a new offering of rubber compound, looks like from Michelin, and in terms of all weather surfaces, it's been excellent. Up here in the Midwest, where we've been experiencing basically 3 out of 4 seasons over the past month, whereas sometimes I felt limited depending on what boot or brand I'm wearing in terms of grip and in terms of confidence on being able to move laterally, quickly, rotationally. This has been great over snow, ice, water, loose rocks, anything really, inclines, declines. It's handled it pretty well with grace, and actually with pretty good wear for the fact that I've had it now for about 3 weeks. It's been through about 60K worth of hiking. It's been through dozens of rounds of disc golfing, and I actually ended up taking this boot to work with me at UPS for a few nights, working at the Air Gateway, which will generally shred a pair of boots pretty quickly, and these things have held up great, especially the toe guard up front that's textured. Didn't seem to mind the abuse that it takes from hitting plane locks, from working on heavy concrete, kneeling, and putting that toe down and mashing it on concrete tarmac. It's held up great. As far as a boot that's in a mid-level price point, a boot that's going to be, less than 14 ounces on either side of your foot, pretty fantastic. And if you're looking for something to kind of get you through the, we'll say, easily turned weather of that kind of early spring slash end of a difficult winter, this thing's been pretty great. For full disclosure, this pair of shoes was provided to me at no charge by Xero Shoes. However, that was the only material provided with no additional compensation. All opinions are that of my own and have had no undue bearing from any corporate influence. Thank you very much, and have a great time out there.